Way too young to trust a broker in a shiny suit. Learned real fast what a margin call to do. Had a paycheck, a phone, and a Robin Hood dream. Thought I was Warren Buffett off a meme stock scheme. Lost my rent on a candle that faked me out. That's when adulthood punched me straight in the mouth. We were broke, cocky, drunk on opium highs, living fast, blowing cash, telling ourselves lies down by the after hours. Learning life the hard way. Green candles feel better when it don't stay. Shorts get squeezed and so do we. Nothing humbles you quicker than IV. Yeah, we YOLO too hard, now we cope loosely. Learned about pain in the after hours. Skip class watching futures at 4 a.m. Heart racing faster than my overdraft again. Thought I'd quit my job by Friday close. By Monday morning I was selling clothes. Broker rap sweating like a bad alibi. Every red tick whispering you ain't that guy. We chased that hit like it owed us rent. Every win felt earned, every loss felt rigged. Down by the after hours, feeling 10 feet tall until the bell rings and you lose it all. Diamond hands turn to paper real fast when rent's due and your luck don't last. Yeah, the market don't care if you're choosy. It teaches lessons in the after hours. Saw my ex with a guy who buys bonds. I was all in on dreams and zero coupons. Thought I'd age like wine. Turns out I'm dead, living proof. Confidence ain't profit yet. Down by the after hours, learning who you are when your net worth's lower than the bar. From bull to bear in a single tweet. That's the kind of whiplash that'll knock your teeth. Yeah, we still chase green like it's destiny, 'cause hope trades heavy in the after hours. Still here, still clicking, still dumb enough to try, 'cause tomorrow's always different, right?
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where I am Matt Kohrs, and I am pleased to report your boy is on a heater. If you witnessed any ounce of the greatness being shown to all of you yesterday, I am pleased to report it has been continuing. Here's a quick little rundown of what's happening. Yesterday, as I was preparing for the show, I took a gnarly short in the futures market, made some money. Awesome. Market open. You guys properly predicted which way the market would go, so we crushed it on options. From there, did another futures trade, made even more money. From there, did another options trade with all of you guys on the Vanquish account, made even more money. Then I did an options trade in my own funded account on Webull, crushed that one. Did another one on the public account, crushed that one. Then we did a Bitcoin bet on Choppy, crushed that one, full ported it, of course. And then we took the full port victory and we put that in the USA versus Sweden game, and they won. So full port, hit. And then that leads us to this morning, where I took another short in the futures market and crushed that one. Folks, you're witnessing greatness. You're I could not lose, and I would, if I'm being honest, I thought it was going to maybe end. Like at a certain point yesterday, I was like, you can't keep this streak alive, man. Like at a certain point, variance has to come for you. But going into the hockey match, I turned in like an hour into it, and at that point, it was like, it was actually still tied. I think we were done with the first period, so I was like, okay, like maybe this is where my luck ends. And hey, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then I got a text from my producer, Mr. Chaos, and he's like, actually, you ended up winning. I was like, no way. And then I got up this morning and I was like, dude, is your luck going to be running out? And then I had my futures trade this morning. We already crushed that. I'll even show it to you. Made $1,000 on 10 accounts. So we're already up 10K there. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know when the luck's going to run out, but right now, your boy, hang on, let's do this. Attention to all members on the casino floor. Your boy, Thick Kohrs, is on a heater. This is your official heater announcement for Mr. Thick Kohrs. You can't lose, dude. That's how I feel. That's how I feel right now. It feels like no matter, my biggest regret right now is that I didn't buy a lottery ticket yesterday. My biggest regret is that I, in fact, did not buy a lottery ticket because I feel like it would have been a slam dunk guarantee. Feels like it would have been a slam dunk guarantee. So that's something we're going to have to contest a little bit with. But hey, if we continue the heater run today, maybe your boy will get his butt down to a convenience store and buy whatever the Mega Millions is, because feels like I can't lose. Feels like I cannot lose. So I'll show you guys all that. I'll give you a quick recap, but we have some other things to go on. We have geopolitical drama related to the people who used to run our country, and then we told them to kick rocks back in 1776. Well, it turns out one of the guys running that show is getting arrested because he diddles little kids, and he's a piece of shit. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have other geopolitical drama related to Iran. Then we have some drama here in the U.S. We have a Trump speech later on today, right when the market closes. We have some earnings. We have some major macroeconomic events. And this is all setting us up for tomorrow, a.k.a. Payday Friday, where not only is it a Payday Friday, and it's going to be the first one in the new place, but we are also going to be getting a buttload of major macroeconomic events. I'm talking GDP, PCE. We're going to be getting some housing numbers. We're going to be getting some Michigan numbers. A lot going down tomorrow. So like I said, we got tons to get into. I appreciate you being here at the crack of dawn. If you enjoy this type of degeneracy, don't forget to like, subscribe, get your grandma to also join up with the Goonie community. And with that in mind, let me see if I could do this right today. We're trying to use the new Stream Deck, and I hope the volume is where it should be. Did this switch it? Hey, dude. Nice. We're exactly where we need to be. I'm getting a little bit more used. You are using a new headphones. Tell us more. Yes, these are new headphones. I decided the other night I was a couple slices of pizza deep. I was a couple high noons deep, and I went to ChatGPT and I said, what are the best headphones I should have as a streamer? And it spit out these very expensive Sonys. These are apparently the best noise canceling headphones on the market. And I was like, I'm sold. And I was, unpacking some boxes, doing some laundry, cooking up some dinner last night. And I can report to you that if you guys buy the highest end Sony noise canceling headphones, without a doubt, I promise you, this is the Matt Kohrs guarantee. You will not have to hear your wife. It was crazy. I felt like I have a little bit better of an appreciation for being Helen Keller at this point, because these bad boys cancel everything. There could have been a fire in my new house and I would not have known. I'm not saying that they necessarily have heat cancellation, but if the fire were to make a very large noise, you would not be hearing it. So we just got it because I did have another one. I like to have two pairs of headphones. I leave one here in the office and then one that I just like meander around the house with. And those ones I broke. I used to have the Bose Quiet somethings and they were good, but I accidentally broke them. So I needed a new one. And I decided to get these, and I'm only a day into it. Maybe I'm 2 days into it. But regardless, if you're looking for noise canceling headphones, they're pretty impressive, I have to say. I mean, I can't even hear you guys. That's how good these things are. I don't even know what you guys are saying right now. Like, of course, I can read what you guys are saying, but if you guys are talking out loud, can't hear you. Cannot hear you whatsoever. So, man, hey, it gets a 5-star out of 5-star. For me. Anyway, stock futures are lower. Walmart earnings loom. You know what? We should update that. I feel like they need to fire that intern at CNBC. Stock futures slide as traders assess Walmart earnings and potential Iran conflict. So, of course, we're going to be getting into all of that. Is this going to load? Come on, Wall Street Journal. Do your job. They're already blocking me from reading this. Seriously? Is Wall Street Journal down? Former Prince Andrew arrested over Epstein probe, BBC reports. Former Prince Andrew arrested amid Epstein probe, according to the BBC. Police say a man in his 60s was detained on suspicion of misconduct in, hang on, they just switched it again. King Charles says royal family supports full investigation as his younger brother is detained on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Do you think the fact that they switched this all so rapidly in the past couple of minutes is because the royal family was like, dude, we got to cover our ass here? And like, you think they were getting yelled at, screamed at, that type of a thing? Anyway, this guy, yes, a member of the royal family. Well, technically, he isn't anymore. He is by blood, but not by title. Anyway, boy got arrested. This guy right here, the guy who wears apparently the ugliest helmet ever on a horse and also being a clear piece of shit. Ex-Prince Andrew arrested by UK police. King Charles's brother, Andrew, arrested on suspicion of misconduct. British police said early today, Thursday, they had arrested a man in his 60s who they did not name. But obviously, we now know he was the ex-prince. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Dude, where do they get these names? The younger brother of King Charles had come under scrutiny due to his relationship with the late offender, Jeffrey Epstein. But at this point, can we even say that he's passed away? I mean, I feel like that's even up for debate. He was denied any wrongdoing, but the public outcry over his association with the disgraced financier had far-reaching consequences. So that's why he's all grumpy looking, because he's about to learn a little bit more about prison. And obviously from this, you can imagine there are many, many memes because the internet does what the internet does. Prince Andrew has been arrested, and old Bilbo here is like, you can get arrested for that? He's like, I thought if you were rich and powerful, we just gave you a pass. So I have a feeling that some of the best entertainment we're going to get this year is when both Clintons, old Bilbo and Hillary, are going to be forced in front of Congress for their testimony on their connections to old Epstein. So they did skirt it at one point, and then everyone's like, isn't that incredibly super illegal? And then they're like, yeah, it kind of is. So now they have agreed. I don't think there's a date set, and please, if I'm wrong on this, please obviously correct me. But I don't believe there's a date set, but the Clintons will be drug in front of Congress and are going to have to testify on their connection with old Joffrey. And I think it's going to give us some incredible fireworks. In fact, if anyone in the audience, if anyone in chat right now knows when this is supposed to go down, could you guys let me know? Can someone search that? Or maybe there is no date. I know that they did skirt the first one, as in they're like, yeah, we're literally just not showing up, which is very, very illegal. But if anyone in chat does know when this is supposed to happen, please let me know. U.S. gathers the most air power in the Mideast since 2003 Iraq invasion. U.S. is ready to strike Iran, but President Trump has yet decided to do so. This is a pot that is currently simmering, and by simmering, I mean almost boiling, and by almost boiling, it means it's a little bit away from really popping off the lid. So this Iran situation, it's very much back and forth of like, are we about to go into armed conflict, or are things going to get figured out? So I just need to put this on your radar. Obviously, I'm not a politician. I'm not a military strategist, and this might surprise you, but neither Iran nor the U.S. government call me when it comes to military conflict, so they're not asking for my opinion on it, so I don't know how close we are or aren't actually into going into armed conflict, but from the general mainstream media that's reporting on the situation, it seems like this could further deteriorate at any second. So obviously, just being a human on this planet, you might want to be paying attention. But obviously, it also has far-reaching implications on the economy, the stock market, treasuries, bonds, yields, especially oil, gold, silver. So this is the type of thing that I'm just putting it on your radar. Pay attention to it. It's a binary event, as in you just never know. You might wake up and nothing happens and no news is good news, or you might be getting alerts that we're in another new war. So I just want to put this on your radar that tensions are not really seemingly progressing in the way that we want them to progress. But just like I said, needed to call that out for all of you. Treasuries head for worst run in month on inflation fears. So kind of tied to inflation stuff. Yes, yields are going up. The dollar's going up. Bonds are going down, notes are going down, gold and silver are holding, Oil is kind of more so spiking on some of this craziness. So is it inflation fears when we just know, I believe trueflation far more than I believe the government reported inflation numbers. If you look at the government reported CPI, PPI, PCE, I trust it as far as I can throw the White House, which I cannot throw the White House at all, which actually is an overstatement for how much I trust the government inflation numbers. I believe something like trueflation far, far more. It's a lot more accurate. It brings in a lot more data points. It's a lot more timely. And according to trueflation, inflation is actually below 1% right now, which is a good reason in all reality for them to cut rates. But for whatever reason, they are looking at the CPI, PCE, and PPI. And we, for whatever reason, are trusting the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is a fucking joke. It is an absolute joke. Not only just generically do they not have like good trust with the public, but if you look into the actual mechanism, like even if we trusted them and said, hey, these are moral characters attempting to do their job, if you look at the methodology in which they collect these data points to compute inflation, you would actually laugh, like literally laugh out loud. It is a complete joke. So once again, obviously this is very opinionated. This is my own opinion, but I'm going to trust something like trueflation way more than I do for the government numbers. So do I really buy this reasoning of why treasuries are moving so much? No. I think it has a lot more to do with the global conflict and other countries not really wanting being involved in the US dollar and other countries generically not having faith in the US government. So why would they hold on to treasuries? And I think there are other empirical measures that are backing up my statement by the fact that, okay, we have gold and silver ripping now, and yet inflation is coming down. Gold and silver are clearly not going up for inflation. If they were, we would have seen them very much spike in 2020, 2021, 2022. That's when we would have seen gold and silver and other commodities absolutely ripping. And they went up a little bit, but not as much as they are now. If anything, inflation is coming down, so why are they going up? Well, they're going up because someone's aggressively buying. That's obviously why things go up. So if we were really to break down why is someone aggressively buying, well, if you look at it, it appears to be that we have other global governments saying, hey, we need to be in these commodities and we need to de-dollarize. So it's a lot of U.S. government treasury selling and a lot of gold and silver buying. Now, it's not like I called up all the governments and said, is this what you're doing? But reading the writing on the wall, it appears like that is much more of what's happening here. So do I think that this is because of inflation? No, I don't. And I actually think another piece of evidence we have that suggests like my thesis on this is actually Bitcoin. The fact that Bitcoin is not going up, okay, well, are these larger central banks globally going to be getting out of the US dollar to go to Bitcoin? Probably not. And if anything, Bitcoin going down tells me that there's a little bit of a liquidity problem. But once again, none of this is related to inflation, at least in my best assessment. So obviously, that's a larger look at the situation. Looking at today specifically, 8:30 a.m. ET, we got some manufacturing numbers. It was more than double what we expected. Initial jobless claims coming in lower than expected. Speaking of gold, we could talk about black gold, crude oil. We are getting some numbers at noon o'clock for any of those of you in here who are trading energy. But like I said, all week, the big show is tomorrow, Friday, February the 20th. Not only is it going to be a Friday, it's a payday Friday, TGIF, but we have a ton of things going on. So we will be streaming early tomorrow. We're going to start at 8:20 just so we can prep up for the PCE inflation report, the GDP report, the manufacturing report, new home sales, and also those Michigan numbers. So there's a lot going down tomorrow. But before that happens, I do want to let you know that Trump, President of the United States, is doing a live, chit chat about the economy today at 4 p.m. And I suppose my question to all of you is, do you guys want to stream that? Do you guys want to go for the old, should this be our first official double stream? 4 p.m. Eastern today, delivers remarks on the economy at the Kohrs Steel Corporation, which looks like it's in Georgia? Visits local business in Rome, Georgia. Podcast interview, closed press, factory tour, Kohrs Steel Corporation, and then delivers remarks on the economy. And then I guess he is returning to Washington. So we could do that 4 p.m. It's right when the market is closing, obviously, if he's perfectly on time. But I just wanted to put that on your radar as well, that the president will be speaking directly about the economy today, right at market close. Don't forget, we're also in earnings season. Granted, things are slowing down. We did have a top 10 report, as in Walmart, coming out this morning. And today, after the market closes, Open Door, Texas Roadhouse. This is kind of funny because Texas Roadhouse is actually one of the best stocks you could consider. And then Open Door is one of the worst stocks you can consider. So the fact that they're both reporting on the same day, I don't know, I find it to be a little bit interesting. One of the best stocks ever, one of the worst stocks ever. So anyway, want to put that on your radar. We still have NVIDIA. NVDA is the last major company that probably a lot of us are paying attention to. That is next week. I'm 90% sure it's next week. It might be the week after that, but I'm pretty sure it's next week. And then after that, we're going to go into another lull of earnings before the next earnings season starts to pick up. Walmart reports strong holiday growth, but earnings outlook falls short of estimates. So Walmart did report this morning. Let's see the current reaction, up about 0.8%. So not the most green, but a bit more green than anything else. With respect to other individual equity news, OpenAI funding on track to top 100 billion in the latest round. OpenAI and Anthropic's rivalry on display as CEOs don't hold hands at India Summit. So right now, the AI trade is still the hot talk, obviously. So I do want to play this. Is that on? That is on. Perfect.
Bloomberg has learned OpenAI is close to finalizing the first phase of a new funding round that's likely to bring in more than $100 billion. The record-breaking financing deal would give the startup additional capital to build out its artificial intelligence tools. For more on this story, we can speak to Bloomberg's Annabelle Jewelers in Hong Kong. Really interesting, Annabelle, to hear Microsoft president talk about their partnership with OpenAI. But as it pertains to funding, who do we know is investing in this latest round?
Yeah, well, it's names we've actually been reporting so far. So there's Microsoft, as we just heard there. Brad Smith really detailing how perhaps none of the technology that we see today wouldn't have existed if OpenAI and Microsoft hadn't come together in the first instance. So they're one of the investors. But the primary one actually is shaping up to be Amazon in this funding round. They're looking to put in around $50 billion. That's according to our sources, although, of course, these amounts could all change. SoftBank as well, looking to invest as much as $30 billion. And NVIDIA looking to invest around $20 billion. So that's what we're hearing from people that are close to the matter. There are some T's and C's, I guess, to be aware of. So what we're understanding, again, is that Amazon, their commitment could also include OpenAI using more of their chips. We do know that Amazon has been working to build out its chip capabilities, essentially. So an interesting point there, and an interesting one as well, because we've been hearing NVIDIA might have been cooling on the deal, but it does seem like OpenAI is certainly trying to expand its network here.
I hear the accent of a Karen.
And those are those strategic investors that we spoke about. What is the scope to broaden up the type of investor that is putting money into OpenAI right now? I can imagine it's a bit of a scramble to get to participate in these funding rounds. What's the plan for later on?
Yeah, this is a really interesting piece as well, because this is a Bloomberg scoop. We were the first to report on this. But what we're understanding is that essentially this could be expanded, or it's going to be expanded. So the next phase of the deal is actually going to include VC firms, sovereign wealth funds, and as well other financial investors. So we talk about that $100 billion funding round. Actually, it could be in excess of that. And also the valuation of the company, the overall evaluation is likely to exceed, or could exceed, $850 billion. So it's a huge amount of capital, essentially, or valuation for a company that's still considered not so much a startup, but certainly one that's, of course, privately held. So, yes, that is the latest on that front. It is worth noting as well, the pre-money value is likely to remain at $730 billion, again, according to people familiar with the matter.
People, dude, one of these days, I just pray to be a person familiar with a matter. Doesn't matter the matter. I want to be familiar with it. I saw this. I thought it'd be fun to share with you. Steve Cohen's $3.4 billion payday tops hedge fund ranks. The Point72 founder edges Tepper and Englander to take the number one spot in Bloomberg's annual listing. So this is basically the list of the rich people, the richie pantses within Wall Street, and how much more rich did they get. Coming in at number one is Steve Cohen of Point72, also the owner of the Mets, $3.4 billion. I believe he is also attempting to now own a casino in New York, I want to say. So that might be one of his latest moves. Once again, from Point 72, David Tepper of Appaloosa, $3.2 billion. Millennium Representation, $3.1 billion. TCI, $3 billion. Ken Griffin of Citadel coming in at number 5, only $2.4 billion. How embarrassing. How embarrassing to only make 2.4 billion when there's other people making 3+ like that. And like, don't even get me started. By the time we look at Bill Ackman only made $1 billion. What's it like to be so poor? Look at all 1.1, 1.6, 2.3, like even right here, TCI, that's respectable, 3 billion. But you call yourself a trader, you call yourself a financier, making $1 billion. Hey, Mr. Ackman, maybe spend less time on Twitter and maybe get your ass in gear, because it's embarrassing that you only barely got 9 figures. Like, absolutely embarrassing. I mean, don't even get me started on Rocco's over here. 930. Dude, he didn't even get into the 9-figure plus club. Like, what an absolute embarrassment, dude. I'd be afraid to show my face around town if I didn't clear $1 billion in 1 year. It blows my mind that he's out and about in public, dude. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, we have about 4 minutes to go, so I guess I wanted to show you guys a little bit of proof. So as I said, your boy's on a crazy heater. With respect to futures, you can see right here, made about $38,000. Take profit, Lucid, FFN. Those are the 15 accounts I'm trading right now. The take profits, I need to scratch trade one more day, and then those are going to go to pro. Lucid's got to pro, and I'm already trading on them today. And FFN, I think I have like 4 more days left, and I still need to get those up to 159 each. So futures trading, crushing it. Obviously, if you are in the Discord, in terms of my own options trade, you know we annihilated that over there right here. I sold at 75, bought it back at 30. I was in the trade at 1023, got out at 1105. So that was a quick $675. I ended up doing the exact same trade in my public account at a little bit of a larger size, so made some money there. You guys know on Vanquish, we crushed it. We did a 2K trade and another 2K trade, so that's why that's up to 103. And then I also crushed it right here. We took the full port on call sheet, 2.5K. Paid out 3.4. We did a random Bitcoin bet, and then also did the US versus Sweden. Full ported that 3.4K, paid out 4.4. So, dude, like I said, we are on a heater. Doesn't matter if it's event-based contracts. Does not matter if it's futures, whether it's Apex, TPT. Doesn't matter if it's my options, your options, somewhere in between, or just life in general. We can't lose, dude. We are absolutely on a heater. So I am thoroughly excited to see how this one particularly plays out today. And it's probably on that note that I should get you guys a little bit more prepared for today's intraday trading session. So I do want to put this out that there is a little bit more stability, still relatively low. Interesting zone, big transition zone from 880 to 850. I don't recall a time I've ever seen positioning like this. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. It's just so perfectly back and forth. So overall, that's our transition zone. What did I just do? From 850 to 880, like I said, I've not seen that type of structure before. Above 880, you do have some positive gamma. If we get up into that, I would expect price action to slow down into 6,900, especially 6,935. However, if we break below 850, I'd be looking at 830 followed by 6,800. If it doesn't hold there, it is just more negative gamma beneath. So I wanted to put all that stuff on your radar for the day. Of course, these are the key levels I'm paying attention to. The green, the red, and the white are yesterday's high, low, and close. The white box is that transition zone that I was just talking about. And then the yellow lines are going to be the major levels. When I say major, I mean we have big money positioning there. So big money is paying attention to basically all those particular strikes. So that's the levels I'm using on the day. Feel free to use them. Feel free to not use them. It's obviously up to you. But these are the levels I'll personally be using. Let me get ready for market open over here. What do you guys want on the screen? What's moving? What's not moving? Let me get this. Hang on. I just want to, what's moving today? Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, let's sit back, relax, see how the market really wants to open. I do need to finish up a little bit in coffee thoughts over here. Hang on, where is coffee thoughts? Coffee thoughts. Now that we actually have this opening, thick thoughts. I'm given all of the current data, I'm strongly neutral. I have no option but to wait around and see what trend actually forms here. Neither camp is showing clear weakness. Okay, that's in there. A little bit of a pop. Let me get the options data going for you folks over here. Why is this not? My Bookmap has seemingly shit out. That's probably not good. Do I need to reopen my Bookmap? Bookmap. All right, there's that data. I know we're getting a little bit of a POC, but the Mag 7 is getting sold off, so be careful with that. Someone else in the Discord did report a Bookmap issue. I wasn't seeing an issue. Let me reload it and see what's going on for me. Bookmap. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Where are we? Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. I did trade early this morning. I'm not trying to hide this from you. I want to show you exactly what I did. I saw this pop right before the 8 a.m. hour. The pop started to fail. I took a short position and I rode it all the way down to just above the previous low. So I was short at 72, 73. I took my profits at about 820, locking in $1,000 per account on my 10 accounts. The reason I'm not trading it on take profit is because I've already hit the profit goal. I just need to trade either today's the final day or tomorrow. I just need one more trading on TPT to get their trade days, and then I'll be able to convert those from eval to performance. These Lucids are already funded right here. Lucid Flex funded, and then the FFN is evals. Those are the ones that, well, actually on all of these I could keep trading. These I need to get up to 159, currently sitting at 157 with respect to the FFNs. And the Lucids, on Flex, I believe there's no consistency rule. So as long as I see high quality trades, I can take the high quality trades. But that's just explaining exactly why you're seeing 10 accounts now instead of 15. The difference is the TPTs, and why the difference is I've already hit the profit goal. I just need one more scalp trade, and then those are going to get upgraded. So hopefully tomorrow, but maybe Monday of next week, I would have to double check on that. So that's what you're seeing. I took one trade of the day right there, right before the 8 a.m. hour. I saw the breakdown, got in. I was risking that high, rode it all the way down to the previous low, locked it in, and if that ends up being my only trade of the day, hey, so be it. I think it was actually a pretty quality trade. So let's, other than that, just kind of kick back, relax, and wait to see what's playing out. Are you guys seeing any interesting movements on the right side of your screen right here? IWM, Palantir. What do you guys want over here? Are we seeing anything? I'm seeing Palantir's down quite a bit. ASML's taking a hit. Bitcoin took a bit of a hit. Feel free to shout it out in chat. What do you guys want? What are you watching? Is gold and silver, are they moving? Like, where's the movement? I see VIX is up a little bit, but not even that much. Gold did dip. Silver did dip. Walmart, how's Walmart looking? Is it moving? Not really. Open, no, that one's not really moving. MSTR is down 2%. HUT's down 3%. MSTR is getting beaten up. Oh, SoFi is down 2%. Oracle's having a rare green day. Walmart is green, but not really moving intraday. What's moving intraday? Palantir was the biggest loser on my watch list thus far, but intraday not really doing the most. Not really doing the most intraday. Is it okay? My Bookmap is officially down. I don't know. Is anyone else seeing this issue? My Bookmap is just frozen. Is it a me problem or is it a Bookmap problem? Does anyone know? I was running well until 9:32. Let's see if maybe I could get it running elsewhere. Anyone else having these issues? That one's working. All right, so maybe I just need to kill it, unsubscribe, and maybe it's just the old turn it off, turn it back on. NQH, yes. Subscribe. It's something with the NASDAQ because I'm getting the ES data, no problem. Oh, hang on. It's starting to import stuff now. I'm a little confused. Is anyone else having Bookmap issues over here? Because it's working for me on ES, which is the S&P 500 on futures. And NQ, well, hang on. We might have got it to work. Maybe I just... But now it's like frozen. It's still importing. All right. So I'm going to give this a second and just see what's going on over there. We are at the low from yesterday. Remember, as soon as you pierce the previous day's low, it means there's a 78% chance of closing below the previous day's close. Is it a guarantee? No. But right here, the fact that we've already taken out yesterday's low means there's a 78% chance that we close below 6881. Now, that could be by a cent. Or it could also be by $100. It could be by anything. The statement is this: if you pierce the previous day's low on the S&P 500, the chance of you closing below the previous close is around 80%. Tradeovate looks to be imploding again. Okay, so it's various people are saying we're having issues. Bookmap seems to be working for some stocks, but others are having issues. Okay, so people are reporting Bookmap data issues and Tradeovate. So it sounds like something in the world of data is going on right now. So I have to admit, I am happy that I currently do not have a position. So you guys are saying you're having issues. Tradeovate working fine here. I'm getting data from Tradeovate and from Rhythmic. My Lucid accounts are Tradeovate. My FFN accounts are Rhythmic. So that's working over on my end. Oh, I do. Hang on. What was that alert? Not so good over there. I'm afraid to try, but I kind of do want to try.
Order submitted.
Okay, it did work for me. Like I said, I was a little nervous, but I was a little nervous. That's not actually my profit target. I'm just throwing it in there to throw it in there. But am I about to get destroyed? Where are we at? What time is it? 9:39. What was this high? This was 60. All right. I need to dial it in. I need to pay attention, folks. All right. I'm looking at this 10-minute IB. 24,762. This is the current intraday low. Maybe we could see it better on the 1 minute over here. Zooming in. VWAP is up here. Volume weighted average price. Just one of those things that ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. So many people are paying attention to it that because they think other people are paying attention to it, they end up reacting to it. And because enough traders react to it, it ends up becoming that important level, which then once again strengthens the argument of why people should pay attention to it. So like I said, self-fulfilling prophecy, I might be able to move my risk down to that level, which I do not mind in the slightest. Well, first of all, let's move it down a little bit to 60. That's 70 points of risk. That's a little bit larger risk than I would like to be taking, which is why I'm interested in this level at 39. 39, that's 50 points of risk. That's 1K. So I'm basically risking the house's money. That's how much I'm up on the day. So if I'm wrong on this, I'm just back to break even, which is obviously not what I want to happen, but it's maybe not a bad deal. Let me, hang on. I'm a little bit knocked off my game. It's still frozen there, but it is working on ES. All right, so on Bookmap right now, some people are reporting trade evade issues. I'm not seeing trade evade issues, but I'm having partial issues here. So something about the data provider on NQ is weird, but it's working on ES. So I just want to throw that out there. Other than that, I guess I'm going to have to not look at those liquidity levels. I guess I'm going to have to just vibe it out with price action. We're here to vibe it out with price action. Obviously, I have a short. Why do I have a short? Because we sold off, and I'm a trend following trader. I'm not looking to go against the trend. If the trend's down, I'm short. If the trend's up, I'm going to be bullish. Like, I just trade with whatever I perceive the trend to be. Obviously, it's betting on this breakdown, which is not the most comfortable bet for me because this could easily pop and then fail. But really what's in my mind is I know if I could catch this breakdown of 50, it's going to probably be a very large sell-off. Look at all that negative gamma. So the risk reward to it, will this one trade work for me? This individual trade? I have no idea. But I know this type of a setup time and time again, I perceive it to be net positive expected value because I'm not risking that much. And if I'm right, I could be right to a big tune. So that's generically a comment on the strategy. Now, will this one trade of the strategy work? I don't know. We're going to be finding out. We're going to be finding out pretty soon. What I do need to do, though, is mark out some of my target levels, which we've already taken out. What is that low? That's 7.6. What is this low? The low from yesterday is 752. What is this low? I need to mark out. All right. So 752 on NQ is the low of yesterday. Overnight session is 700 flat. From there, I see a spike down to 6. So it goes 750, 700, 600. If it goes. I don't know if it's going to go. I'm attempting to catch the first impulse of the day. That's kind of, if I really had to better articulate like my favorite trade, and I guess I do have various systems and strategies, this, that, the other thing. I would articulate my favorite trade of the day of catching that first impulse. It's not the easiest thing to do by any means, but when you do it, like I said, it could just be so asymmetric because sometimes that first impulse can be 200 points on NQ. And if you can catch that, you could be done before 10 a.m. and you're already locked in. The tough part there is just having the discipline to actually appropriately walk away when your trade's over. Right here, see how we have this double bottom? That's not what I wanted. So people are reacting to the low of yesterday. I was hoping this was a dead cat bounce and we would break, but it's just not happening as of now. Looking at the flow of the day, Mag 7 is weak, which is part of the reason why I was comfortable being short. SPY was getting hit and started to recover, but based on the time of my trade, it was definitely weaker than it is now. So just waiting. I do want to update my risk, though, just if I'm wrong. I want to keep my wrong punishment, if you will, as in not that much punishment. I just need to be on the ball and cut it because it's always the outsized losses that aren't going to get you. It's always holding on to that trade that you know you shouldn't be holding on to that's going to destroy you. And this pop right here, it's about to tag me. It's about to tag me. All right. Why is this not working? Hang on. I'm having some... I don't know if it's data issues or if my computer's just lagging here, but it's not updating my chart for me. What are we trading at? Where are we? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. All right. A breakdown of 75 is statistically pretty brutal. What do we have up here? 900. Is this little pop going to fail? We might be making a move up to VWAP. VWAP right now, the volume weighted average price. I wish I could show it to you on Bookmap, but I can't. It's at 24,887 right here. Connection loss, reconnecting. So maybe on the reconnection I should be good, but I am flying a little bit dark, and it's not my best vibes. Not the best vibes right now. I'm hoping this is a fail, and if it is, obviously I can risk that, but I'm hoping this little pop here is a dead cat, at least for this trade, but we're going to see. I was just trying to read the vibes of the option sell-off early. Look at that. The Mag 7 did get cracked pretty good. Nasdaq popped, but it's giving it back. Look at that reversal. I think that should benefit me. I really wish I could check Bookmap on this. Oh, wait. It's now working. Okay, so I don't know if the calculation of the POC and VWAP's right, but at least I could see the current orders. And if we take out 775, it's kind of a big deal because look at what that means. That means for the 10-minute here, it means that we are cracking on down. So the current intraday low is what? 763, setting up a test for the low from yesterday at 752. So kind of it's a small range, 10 points on NQ, especially on a day like this. That's not much. This bar closes, we still have 3 minutes. Thus far, it's an inside bar. When I say an inside bar, the current bar's high and low is within the high and the low of the previous bar. So that's obviously something I'm paying attention to. If it remains an inside bar, the break on the next bar, the third bar of whichever direction of the inside bar, whether it's that high or low, that's actually statistically significant. I'm not saying it's going to happen this time because the bar is not closed yet, but if I were to kind of show you the extremes, see how the current bar that's like literally developing right now, see how the high is lower and the low is higher. The high and the low of the current bar is within the extremes of the previous bar. That's referred to as an inside bar. What I'm saying is from there, whichever one of the, let's imagine that the bar we're closing right now and we were no longer developing. Let's imagine like a new one is about to start. I'm saying this white horizontal line, the high, or this white horizontal line, the low, whichever one of those breaks first when it's an inside bar does have statistical significance for a relative to the time frame you're on for a continuation in that favor. So you have an outside bar, an inside bar. The break of the inside bar does have interesting stats surrounding it. Once again, when it comes to the world of trading, is that the end all be all guarantee? No, there's no such thing as that works all the time, but it is statistically significant, which is significant to say in itself because most of the time the market is a 50-50 distribution. So right now we're basically waiting to see which way this is going to break. If it goes for another minute 50, it's going to be that inside bar, and then the game quickly becomes: are we going to break below 773, or are we going to break above 857? I have no particular guess. The fact that we are trending down, bearish, tells me that the bears have an edge, but obviously it's not a guarantee, especially in the morning when we've been just having higher volatility and whatnot. So, and it's also reacting to 800, which is also the overnight session low. So it's a psychological level, it's a technical level. There's quite a bit of action going on at this level. And you could see that there was a lot of protection at 75. This is Bookmap. And I'm still waiting on some of this. It looks like we're having some data issues, but there was a lot of buyers down here, 24,775. We popped right back up to the point of control, which is where most volume's traded at, and then VWAP's up here. I'm getting two different VWAP readings, and I have a feeling that's because I'm having some data issues this morning. VWAP is closer to 880. And then right here, the point of control is 860. But the interesting thing is all of these people down here, the very bottom of your screen, there are 200 contracts to be purchased at 24,775. Guess what level that is? Surprise, surprise. That's the breakdown of this inside bar. So we're seeing just pending buy orders. Are they buying to open, buying to close? You don't know. We just know that there's pending buy orders there. And in all reality, it's probably a combination of it. So just wanted to share that with all of you. just wanted to share that with all of you as we are waiting for a little bit of, the SPY was getting cracked. It's recovering a little bit. The NASDAQ pointing up a little bit. The MAG 7 is just flat. No real flow there. The SPY on a relative basis is stronger. The SPY is trying to recover. See this double top, or excuse me, this double bottom off the low from yesterday. Showing a little bit more. Palantir's recovering. All right. The question is, do I want to lay down my sword on this one? Do I want to admit that I'm wrong? What time is it? 9:50. We are about to get that breakout of the, remember, like I said, so we do officially have an inside bar, outside bar, inside bar. Looking at the 10-minute chart, we are about to, it got close. Upon the break of 57.50, the odds of us running up to 83.50 do increase by a measurable amount. That distance right there, 57.50 to 83.50. But once again, it's an if-then statement. If it breaks, then the odds increase of going to 83. We're not yet, we're getting very, very close, but we're not yet in that conditional probability of saying, oh, we broke it. I wonder, right now VWAP is at 81. I'm having a really tough time letting go of my short because I'm seeing a lot, like the momentum's just clearly bearish. But maybe that's a poor way to be looking at the current situation. Maybe I just need to cut it for good risk management. And saying that out loud, I obviously know that's the right decision, but I am having a uniquely tough time laying down my sword on this current short because I look at this bearish. And maybe I got into it and the trend is about to reverse. That can happen. And as a trend following trader, that's the main thing you need to be cognizant of is like, okay, like, is the trend that you thought you were playing, is that still there? And unfortunately, it might be reversing on me. This is painful. I'm waiting for VWAP. VWAP, if you're paying attention to NQ, is pretty much right here. So in my book, this is still bearish. We're still on the south side of all these major EMAs. In my opinion, I'm not in the wrong side of the trend at the moment. Like I'd have to be a little bit more convinced with stronger price action. But I am getting to the point where I don't really want to risk much more. What do you mean by inside outside bar? I literally just spent minutes explaining the entire concept. It's not a big brain scientific explanation. It's exactly what you think. Is the bar bigger? It's an outside bar. Is it smaller? It's an inside bar. And I just gave like the exact levels and breakdown. Like if you're not getting that one, I don't know, go Google it or something. Go Google that one. Company director, Stanton disclosed 1.98 stock buy, adding 5,000 shares. What is that one for? Microsoft key insider buy. Oh, they're buying MSFT on the dip. Buying old MSFT on the dip here. Yeah, I am not in love with what the fuck I am doing right now. Feels like I got into a trade that I should not be in at the moment, and I'm basically now trying to play for the VWAP rejection. We're at VWAP, the volume weighted average price, and I need it to reject here. If it doesn't reject here, obviously I'm bailing on the position. Basically, I just have to admit that my thesis was wrong. And it happens. It happens actually quite a bit. I would say about 50% of the time I have to say, yep, that was wrong. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Is it going to be one of those days? See, it's still, even this, like it could get rejected. This is, I would argue from any trend following perspective, the bears are still in control. It has not converted to being bullish yet. And if it starts to, obviously I'd have to switch and go bullish. I have no issue being bullish, but right now, by all my basic empirical measures, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hours, all bearish. 5 minute on ES is pushing, 10 minute is testing, 30 minute, 4 hour, it's still all bearish. I have to be careful though, because remember, it's the smallest time frames that switch first. Like inherently, that's how the market works. So I'm trying to be mindful of reading the smaller time frames here and say, oh, okay, like which way are we doing? So maybe not. What did me in was pretty much this triple bottom, higher low, but pretty much a triple bottom off 850, which is the low from yesterday, and it's also the bottom of the transition zone. I got a little too excited here just to break my trade down. I thought this was the dead cat bounce. I was like, okay, we overshot it, we popped, I went short, and I was looking for the flush down to 830. Obviously, that did not happen. I can find many counter examples in trading where that does happen. Like you're at the low, you have the dead cat bounce, and it does puke. This is just one of those situations where it clearly did not. And anyone on this planet telling you that they could have predicted that this one's not going to be the breakdown one, they are full of shit. No one can predict shit like that. Like no one. It's actually literally impossible because the bounce of the break is dependent on everyone who's about to trade, like literally trade after you. So unless you are arguing that in aggregate, you know what other people are about to do, there's an aspect of variance to it. And the quicker that you accept there's many unknowns in this particular game of trading, the better off at trading you're going to be. I think one of the biggest leaps I made like in my trading career was like finally really in my mind breaking down the knowns and the unknowns. The knowns are something like, what's your risk? Where are you going to like just admit you're wrong? Where are you going to get out? That's something that's in your control. What's not in your control is what other people are about to do. Trading before 10 a.m. Yeah. I mean, there are certain strategies that are good at 10 a.m., before 10 a.m., after 10 a.m. You just have to have the appropriate strategy for that particular time frame. There's not necessarily, I would say it's more difficult, but also it's bigger risk, bigger reward. So trading earlier in the day, I would very much argue statistically is a more difficult thing to pull off, but the reward is also higher. It means you can get in earlier on a trend and catch that giant impulse. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad, but it's more high octane. So I would say that if maybe perhaps you're earlier in your trading career, or maybe you're not that like comfortable with your particular trading strategy, maybe don't start off like right at the beginning of the day. By its own definition, it's not bad. Like, I mean, that gets philosophical of how are we defining it. But it is higher risk, higher reward, because generally you have higher volatility and higher ranges. So that could be good if you're on the right side of the range. Obviously, it could also be very bad if you're on the wrong side of the range. Hang on. Why did, hello? I lost my headphone sound for a second. What indicators do I use? Just these are EMAs. These are just colorized EMAs, exponential moving averages, and high lows and closes. That's it. Nothing too special. People see this and they think it's like some sort of like hyper incredible special indicator that's super secret. No, it's literally exponential moving averages that I just put various moving averages together. And like on that note, I would strongly argue that there's no like one best indicator. There's no one best EMA. I use a grouping of them together. I think that's like the best way. The real thing I need to consider here is VWAP. Okay, so we overshot VWAP, and the question is, are we going to hold it? If we don't hold it, I need to add to my position. If we do hold it, I need to get the hell out of my position. So I need to pay attention a little bit here. We're about to get the turn of the hour. So I might get lucky with the old 10 a.m. reversal. We've been in here many times before where 10 a.m. you can get decent reversals. And to be completely honest, that is what I'm looking at right now. All right, that VWAP is not right, so let's not use that. It didn't load the full data set from market open. VWAP is currently 880, 881, so we're at it. We overshot it. We're retesting it. I'm praying for a bit of a failure here. We're going to find out. And in the meantime, let's get a bit of music. A little bit of music to cheer us on to victory. A little bit of music to cheer us on to victory. Oh, okay.
Order filled.
Okay. Oh, wait. No. Shit.
Order filled.
Okay, I accidentally closed it when I was just trying to update the order, so I got mine back. So that was a bit of a fuck up. Obviously, what matters is the total P&L all the way to the right, but I accidentally hit the wrong button there. But it did cost me money. There was 20 points of slippage, so that fucking sucks. But really, this was my first entry all the way back here at 938. That's what I'm looking at. But I'm trying to play this VWAP failure. VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It's literally just you look at all the trades at all the prices and you average it out and you say, okay, what is the average trade value of the day, starting from wherever you want to start it. I started at 6 p.m. for futures. I started at 9:30 for equities. Regardless, that's like a nuanced detail. The reason I use it is like in my own mind, it's not some like incredible end all be all indicator. Once again, it's just another tool that you can use in your trading arsenal. And it's really, really tough to believe that any indicator by itself is some end all be all tool. That I just don't believe that's how this particular game works. But because it's so popular, so many other people are looking at it, so it very quickly becomes the self-fulfilling prophecy. I think I'm on the wrong side of this. In fact, I am starting to realize I'm very much on the wrong side of this. Fuck me. What's that low? All right, I have to... Well, I can't let it go above whatever that previous high is. Whichever trend we get from VWAP is generally a very nice trend. I am not necessarily saying it has to be bullish or bearish. My goal is just to play whichever way we trend from VWAP. So I'm not going to sit here and be stubborn and pig-headed and say, nope, it has to be down. I was obviously favoring the bearish side because all the trends were down, and I'm a trend following trader, and I was trying to play this breakdown right here because we shot over it, we came down, we broke all these EMAs, so I thought I had good reason. But obviously by the time we get up to 920, I just have to admit I'm wrong. Which is fine. Like, I'm wrong half the time. If you're coming in here thinking that, like, I'm just going to be lights out. No, my goal is to be green every day, every week, every month, every quarter net, but not on the individual trades. Of course, like, I want to be right on every trade, but the odds are going to be about 50-50. Like, so I think that takes a very different perspective of trading, understanding that about half your trades you're going to be wrong. But if you get out of the bad trades quickly, which I'm self-admittedly not doing the best on today, you can be net green all the time, which is really going to be the ultimate goal. All right, let me just double check what the fuck is happening here. Okay, dude, yeah, 948, the old switcheroo here. I think I need to bail. I'm on the wrong side. The trend's switching. The trend was bearish, but now we are definitely switching. Fuck.
Order filled.
All right, we're going long one. We're not going to revenge trade filled. Here.
Order submitted.
Like I said, I gave you the exact criteria as soon as it broke. I tried to give it this attempt. I had a fuck up, and in reality, the fuck up would have been actually beneficial for me if I just closed it out there. And then I could have re-entered roughly around 900 instead. I have one long, but I didn't want to chase it too bad just because there could be another pullback here. And I'm not 100% convinced. What I'm looking at, like, we did go green, but look, what I'm not really convinced about is we haven't had a closing bar on the 30-minute. This is right here in the bottom left. That's what's making me slightly hesitant about this whole ordeal is we're not going to know for another 25 minutes and 33 seconds if we're actually breaking out here. The 5-minute, yes, it happened. The 10-minute, it just barely happened. but this is giving me hesitation, and so is the 4 hour. On NQ, 5 minute did break out. 10 minute technically didn't. It closed below, so we have to wait 5 more minutes on that one. And same thing on the 30 minute. So like I see in the shortest time frame that it is going up, but like we're in that awkward transition. It's not as evident as we're all bullish or all bearish. Those are the days that are easier. And right now the question is, are we legitimately switching bullish? Are we about to make some sort of run at this positive gamma up here at 6,900? If so, I want to catch it. I mean, there's about 25 points of meat on this bone if it happens, but we haven't even done the red to green test. We have not broken out of the transition zone. Right now, I guess I'm trying to offer words of caution of being overly bullish right now because we have not transitioned. 5 minute has, 10 minute barely did, 30 minute did not, 4 hour did not, 5 minute did, 10 minute did not, 30 minute did not, 4 hour did not. And even on this, like maybe that's actually a little bit more compelling. What's not so compelling is realizing that we did break the low, so the odds of us closing below 81 are high, but remember, that's a 4 p.m. measure. What's more concerning, I would argue, is this push. We just didn't get the follow through. I mean, obviously, it's your account.
Order canceled.
It is your account. Fuck, did I just get unrealized drawdown on some shit? Yeah, the FFNs. Fuck. It might be transitioning, awkward in between. We just have to wait. This could all be the brutal fake out. The 5 minute could have popped and get smashed. The 10 minute didn't break. The 30 minute, it could just be a perfect cloud rejection. We've seen this many times before, so neutral.
Order filled.
We're right back to VWAP now. This is what I'm saying is we're not trending. By definition, we are not trending yet. Right back to VWAP here. VWAP is 24,883, and we're right at 900. Maybe it wants to catch itself here. All right, let's get rid of all these extra lines. I think it's just making it a bit more complicated. So once again, the shortest time frame is showing, the 1 minute is showing recovery. 5 minute is up next, and 10. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds for this to go, but this might be an official close above it. And then from there, it looks like 920 is pretty important. So on NQ, pretty much this 50% retracement from the overnight session. Right here, the white box is the high and the low of the overnight session. 920, which is the 50% of that, also happens to kind of perfectly align with the 30 minute attempting to close up here. So that's what we're waiting for. The Mag 7 started off weak with trend and reversed right here at 946. S&P 500, same thing. Started off weak for the first 6 minutes, reversed, and now it's not really trending. Patience, 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 patience. Patience, patience. SPY almost got the red to green test. That's this white dash line. Same thing on Q's. Almost got the red to green test. Silver trending up. Palantir trending up. Almost actually going back green on the day. Down, down, down. Just gotta wait. Let's try to not rush anything. It started off clearly bearish. We're seeing the very initial signs of a potential trend reversal. I'm not necessarily sold on it yet. We just have to let more data come in. We have to let more trading happen. But we went from an easy trend yesterday to kind of a choppy mess thus far today. And my Bookmap is once again not showing the right data. or it's like paused. I don't know how to, I guess, describe it. All right, we're still at VWAP. Hopefully it holds it. Well, if you're a bull, you would want it to hold. If you're a bear, you wouldn't. It is relatively a simple trade. If we get a VWAP bounce and it keeps going, that would be minimal risk with the shorter time frame, and hopefully then it would push enough for this to stay green, for this to stay green. But like I said, what's freaking me out is the 10 and the 30 have not officially switched. The 10 and the 30 have not officially switched. And that's what's like making me a bit more hesitant of saying, oh, the trend's going. The 5 minute did go. The 5 minute did go on ES and NQ, to be fair. I'm not saying it's like all bearish. There's that VWAP bounce. We're right at 900 on NQ. Here's the battle. Right at 900. 920 is kind of that key level in terms of, does the 30 minute actually want to break? And it also happens to be the overnight session 50% retracement. So this zone right here, I'd be a bit more convinced if we could hold it, because we're holding a psychological level, we're holding VWAP, we're above the 50% retracement, and it would also lead to the 10 minute and the 30 minute chart like being a bit more compelling for the actual break. But we have to just wait because it might fail. But I'm just letting you guys know what I'm looking for. asking every trader that's watching my passion, thinking I'm lost in the fashion, I forgot my captions. 914. With respect to flow, Mag 7 is showing strength after clear weakness this morning. I guess the bull camp forgot to wake up in the first 15 minutes. Yeah, we just got knocked right back down to VWAP though. Are we failing here, or is this where buyers are going to step in? I could show you this. This might be the most interesting way to tell. VWAP is 84. It's pretty much right where we're at. This is where either bulls need to step up or bears need to get weaker for this to work, for this VWAP bounce. Yeah, 900. So I'm interested in this zone between really 920 and 880. So that 40-point region on NQ I would define as like kind of an important transitional zone. And obviously as a trader, you want to know if we're above it or below it. What's up with your Apex? Still pending? Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them.
Order canceled.
Fuck, my wrist just got hit. Son of a bitch. I just got stopped out on that. It might be switching here. Oh, this is what I was worried of. A fake out. A fake out here. It was. Yeah, dude, that pump. This is why you had to pay attention to that momentum so much. Like, I know it was crazy for me to say that we were not bullish yet, even though we were getting that pump. It's just not enough converted. This is why checking multiple time frames is so incredibly important, because if you're looking at the 1 minute, you might be like, this is the most bullish thing ever, but this is what you're seeing right now is why it all has to be, all of it, fact checked. And just to drive this point home, look at the 5 minute and the 1 minute convincing. 10 never switched, 30 never switched, 4 hour never switched. The 5 tried to go, 10 minute getting rejected, 30 minute getting rejected. It just didn't. And I think there's a lot of traders who hone in on one time frame and they think that one time frame is giving you enough information. It's not at all. Right now, everything is flagging like just not really determined. Obviously some trading days right out of the gate, we get convincing data. We're like, oh, it's all bullish, it's all bearish. You just have sometimes that patience. Patience. I think it was my FFNs that got hit by the unrealized drawdown. That sucks ass. I mean, it's $50 to reset it, but it still sucks ass. It's frustrating. Especially when I was like calling it out in real time and like explaining how what I was doing, just uncomfortable with it. So stupid. So fucking stupid. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. Good thing those ones were just evals though. I guess that's like the saving grace here. The saving grace. But still, more frustration at myself. I mean, it's going to cost me, what, $250 to reset all 5, so it's like not the end of the world, but it's just more of, it's frustrating. Obviously, me calling out, hey guys, be careful, there's no trend here. So it's just like, well, why are you doing it then? Like, just wait till there is a trend, and I guess, I don't know, degeneracy, or not even that. Like, I suppose it's the hope of like, okay, well, hopefully the trend does start and it does break in my favor. I think that's some of the mindset, and it sucks. Yeah, we are literally just waiting here. Hang on. Good thing we are... Things are cheap as fuck right now. Alright. Well, another VWAP recapture. We're bouncing right off of VWAP again. Another VWAP recapture. Definitely not as easy as yesterday, but today to me, and this is kind of just a guess, so please take it with a grain of salt here, if you will. It feels like we are still going to get some sort of good move today. The ranges of volatility are nice enough. It's just we're waiting for an actual trend to develop, and it could start at any moment. For all I know, this VWAP little bounce that we just got here could be it. It could be it for all I know. Oh, brother, 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 oh, brother. How do I get myself over here? Good. Am I on the right side? Yeah, so you can see this a little bit better. What the fuck? Yep. All right. It's looking right here. The 5 pop, pulled back, save itself. The 10's making another attempt. The 30 minutes still sketchy, but the fact that it's gotten beaten down and bounced a couple times, especially off of VWAP, 5-minute popped, pulled back, showing a little bit of strength. Same thing with 10-minute. It popped, it got knocked, but it is showing strength. The final domino to fall here just is this 30-minute. SPY got hit, pulled back, so if that continues to show some strength. Mag 7 is showing strength. They went from clear weakness for the first 15 minutes, and now it is decently recovering. My data stream just dropped again. Come on. All right, maybe I need to do rhythmic data today. Hello? Yeah, this data dropped again. All right. Well, maybe it's good that I did, because I would have probably chased that little breakout and I'd be getting punished right now. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but waiting for this data. If you're curious, if you're in the Discord, Piper has not yet fired. Waiting on that one. But like I said, maybe that was a blessing, and I probably would have been caught up in this, and then it gets smashed anyway. It's tough, dude. When the 5 and the 10 disagree with the 30, when the 5 and the 10 disagree with the 30, it's exactly that. It's a disagreement. There is no trend. I know other people don't look at it as like quantifiably as I do, but it's looking at it quantifiably that has made me money. Look at that. Bearish, bullish, bearish. Yeah, we're just lack of trend. You gotta wait. You gotta wait in environments like this. I promise you, life is going to be easier the more time frames that agree. And when they're all flagging separate things, you just have to wait. Lessons learned. Yeah, pin. We're right at that 50% of the transition zone. We're getting knocked at the 50% of the overnight on NQ. We got knocked at the daily 50 EMA. Like, we're just converging on all this equilibrium, and the market is unsure. Did my data ever reconnect? Nope, it didn't. I'm having the worst time. What the fuck, dude? All right, so Tradeovate worked for me, but now I'm trying to get onto some rhythmic stuff, and that's not connecting. Maybe I need to disconnect and reconnect again. Did it work that time? I heard a ding. Nope. Nothing. That's something. Looks like the Tradeovate is connecting fine for me, but we are having an issue on. Now it connected. Okay, it took a while, but it did just connect. Interesting. Well, I am, I guess, happy to a certain degree that I didn't try to trade those Tradeovates today, because I probably would have been chopped up with this the way I was with those FFNs. And if I'm going to lose something to FFNs to reset all 5, it's $250. It's $50 a pop. So, not fun, but it's kind of what I deserve, honestly. Not being disciplined. Because I saw that red, I was like, oh, it's going to break this way, and it could still break that way, but this is a good example of, in the meantime, it could still very much go against you. So I should have been better prepared for that. And the bummer here is I do think it's going to break in my favor. So I think my overall movement was right, but I didn't have good enough risk management to handle the variance in between, which is, it's just always frustrating, because like what you have to do for that situation is not hard. It's just, if it breaks a recent extreme, just get the fuck out, which I wasn't doing. And that's just on me. That's like 100% user error, like just dumb shit. Should have just waited. But I think this breakdown, if it does break down, which is a giant if, I'm not here to try to predict, but it, just looking at the pressure, and I'm looking over here at Bookmap when it is giving me the data, that it is looking kind of brutal. Fuck. Damn, these looses are kind of expensive. I would be buying TPTs and Apex, because right now Apex and TPTs are the best deal, but I'm frozen out of Apex waiting for the $1 million payout, and on TPT I already have all the accounts, so I'm forced to go to more expensive platforms right now, which is a fucking bummer, dude. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. Right back to VWAP. We're just waiting. We were bearish, we were bullish, we pulled back, and we're just consolidating sideways. Hey, if you're making a trade right now, I do wish you the best of luck. But look at that. We're not trending. I actually think the compelling trade here is the breakdown, if it were to happen, of the 30-minute bar. So on NQ, that would be 24,848. On ES, the compelling trade, in my opinion, would be the breakdown of 6872. That's what I'm seeing for right now. And other than that, we have to just kind of wait as I'm battling these stupid fucking data issues. Any opinion on day traders versus TPT? I have no idea what day traders is. It might be good, it might be horrible. Apex is a scam, fam. I find people find the people who are screaming Apex is a scam are people who break the trading rules. They get denied a payout, and then they say it's a scam. I I've seen no credible evidence that they are scamming people. I've seen a lot of evidence of people breaking rules, their payouts getting denied, and then they get angry about it. That by definition is not a scam. Who said that? Dun Mifsis. Dun. What's a piece of evidence that it's a scam? Like, that's kind of a lofty accusation. It means like they literally scammed you out of something. Noise, it's a scam. Okay. You saying it's a scam doesn't make it a scam. You have to have evidence that it is a scam. Are you sure you're just not a shitty player? Like, you just suck at the game of the market? You suck at playing this game? Like, is that what's actually going on? Like, I mean, hey, I'm an affiliate with them, so I would love to know if they were a scam, because if they're scamming people, I don't want to be an affiliate with them. But I've never seen evidence of them getting scammed. Like, I've just seen people breaking rules and then they get mad that they don't get a payout. Matt will find out if Apex is a scam. Maybe that's possible, but once again, you guys have to show evidence of it. Betting is a scam. Clearly an affiliate. I've never hidden that I'm an affiliate, but also I only want to be affiliated with firms that I trust, obviously. So like I'm saying, if you have evidence of them scamming people, let me know. But I mean, I'm assuming I put way more research into this than you have. What's the scam? Where's the evidence of the scam? I have not seen it. And like I said, as an affiliate, as a big affiliate for them, no, I would not want to work with them if I have evidence of it, but I just haven't seen it. Clearly an affiliate. No, so like once again, you're not giving evidence. You're just saying it. You're just saying it time and time again. That like it's a scam, it's a scam. Same thing with Pickle Me Timbers. Once again, you can't just say it. Like, give us evidence. You're an adult. Allegedly, you're an adult. So instead of just screaming like a little girl that it's a scam, what is the evidence? Apex will pay you as long as you follow the rules. Yes. In my history with Apex, I've been approved many payouts. I've been denied many payouts. And guess what? Every time I followed the rules, I got paid. Every time I didn't follow the rules, I didn't get paid. Like, what? Is that really that big of a thing to understand? Like, why would they pay you if you break the rules? I would love to have evidence of someone getting denied a payout, but they followed all the rules. Trump talking? I think he's talking at 4 p.m. Your payout is a good test? I think so, but we'll find out if they think I broke rules or not. I've been very honest with all of you that I'm pretty sure I've broken no rules. And also in the past, when I've broken rules, I told you, I'm like, hey, this is going to get denied because I knew I broke a rule. It was never a surprise. I have many videos on it. I explained, I'm like, this is why I was denied. I knew it was going to happen. It's on me. I broke a rule. When I got approved, I was like, hey, I didn't break any rules. I think I'm going to get approved. And then I did. It's like, I think this is becoming a bigger thing than is, I guess, anyone with competence is would actually it's just, did you follow the rules or not? Who are you trying to convince? I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm trying to get you to be an adult. So right here, you see right away, does everyone in chat notice how Dunder Mifflin right here, he just won't answer the question. Who are you trying to convince? Why are you so defensive? Dude, it's a basic question. If it's a scam, what's the scam? What's your evidence of a scam? You're the one who is acting like a child about this. You're being intentionally evasive and obtuse because you can't answer my question, which is right away why you've turned the conversation to, who are you trying to convince? Why are you so defensive? Dude, it's a basic question. What's the evidence of a scam? Imagine if the entire world operated the way that you're trying to behave right now. And then, yeah, popcorn. So you're just basically you're a little bitch is trying to, what you're trying to say is you're some fucking dimwit retard who clearly defensive. Dude, prove me wrong. There's thousands of people watching right now. You could make an impact. You can have an impact. Scams are defense. What are you talking about? Dude, literally thousands of people are watching right now. We're all paying attention to you. Prove us wrong. Assist the community. I would say you have a moral obligation to help the retail community. You're able to prove me wrong. Right here. See, you can't do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, and we see this, it's also not just in the world of retail trading. You see this in just like the current state of politics, adults in general. Like, there's no critical thought. Imagine if this is how our world worked, where people could just say something, be like, that's illegal, that's a scam. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Can I have evidence of it? And they're like, no, that's defensive to ask for it. That's defensive to ask for it. How dare you? How dare you ask me for evidence or proof or reasoning? This is just what happens, dude. Like, there's unfortunately a massive issue with the current state of critical thought in our country. Honestly, probably even larger than that. Probably, I guess, worldwide, that people just, I don't know, they can't think straight. They can't think for themselves. I don't know what it is, but there's obviously something is going on in this world that, like, the most basic questions can cause someone to crumble. Liberal activities, I wouldn't be surprised, but I bet people on the right do it. I think it's just like the general person has a really, really tough time with that. Like, I don't get it. All right. The accusation was that it was a scam. If all of a sudden, if you call something a scam and then you're like, oh, okay, like, what's the evidence of it? Like, if it's a scam, why would I want to be on it? Like, let me know. Let the rest of the community know. If it really is a scam, wouldn't you want to, like, actually get other people to understand why it's a scam so they don't get scammed? And then okay, like, to me, that's like a pretty logical thought. And then you say, okay, that's crazy. That's a crazy statement. It's a scam. I don't want to work with it. Well, how do you know it's a scam? What's the evidence of it is a scam? And then the person's like, no, I can't believe you would ask that. I can't believe you would ask that. If you call it a scam enough, then it might be a scam. You're the only one calling it a scam. And literally everyone in chat is asking you, why is it a scam? But you can't app every time and go on streak like this dude. Chill. What? Is this English? Why so defensive? So it's not defensive if someone's just pointing out some basic logic. If you think someone pointing out basic logic is defensive, you might in fact be a retard. Like, that is something that you would really have to, like, deeply consider in your life. Like seriously, have a moment with yourself, a moment with Jesus. If someone pointing out basic logic and you call that defensive, you might in fact just be retarded. Like, it's crazy. It really does bum me out that there's people like this, that their vote counts as much as mine. Like, in this world, we get the same vote. The legal system looks at our life as like the same value from like a voting privilege perspective. It's insane to me that that's how this works. See this? See how retarded you are? No, it's a scam. Yeah, you saying it over and over again. Imagine if that's how our entire system worked. Of just, if dipshits say the same thing over and over again, it then becomes truth. I mean, here's an interesting test. This is going to prove to you how it's like not. You could try to say time and time again you're smart, but still tomorrow you're going to wake up as retarded as you are right now. The crazy thing is I'm not even here saying like, oh, it's definitely not a scam. I'm literally just asking for the evidence of the scam. That's it. Like, is it crazy for me just to ask for evidence? Like, when in this world has it ever been such a crime, so defensive, to be like, yeah, what's the evidence here? Like, I'm literally just saying, hey, what's your evidence? Oh, what a fucking retard. I don't benefit, so it must be a scam. LO. That's where we're at, man. Like, just, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is the current state that we're in. Like I said, I was like waiting for this 30-minute, a little fake out there. That's brutal. Never actually broke down there. We did get a bit of a breakout here. It might be going bullish. Do I want to take this long? I mean, it just kind of skyrocketed from there. Dude is just rage baiting. Just go on and change his username tomorrow. Maybe. I mean, I'm just going to kick him because like we don't need fucking retards. And what's crazy though is like I was more than willing to like give him his opportunity to speak his piece. Yeah, obviously we're kicking him. Like whatever. If you have a different opinion on a trade, a different opinion on a platform, that's the point of this community, is to pipe up, and maybe we could all together figure out the scams versus the not scams, the puzzle of the market. Like we can work together to try to get to an optimal outcome. But then when you have people like that, it literally detracts from the community because some people are literally too stupid. I know there's all these trading gurus and furus out there who will tell you trading's for everyone and blah, blah, blah. It's not. Many people in this world should not be trading. Like I'll be the bearer of bad news. And there are some people who have too low of emotional discipline to be profitable in the markets. Actually, like most people probably should not be active traders, whether it's a lack of intellect, a lack of emotional control, too pig-headed, too stubborn, not willing to admit they're wrong. It happens. And I get it. I get from a marketing perspective when I try to get you guys to sign up on Apex and Take Profit Trader and get into the Discord. It's like literally negative marketing for me to say that trading is not for everyone. I get it. I understand it, but it's also the cold hard truth. It really is. Do I want to take a long 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes up there? 30 minute is sketchy though. 30 minutes not necessarily convincing me. We have another 23 minutes till it goes, but the 10, I like the push, the pullback, the higher low, and the pop from there. I could risk VWAP. We're trading at 915. VWAP is 86. Well, now we're coming back down to 900. Were you approved? No, I'm waiting. I reached out to people who've gotten $1 million plus payouts in the past, and the fastest one I heard of was about 2 weeks. The longest one I heard of was 6 weeks. It's not a fast process, unfortunately, between the trade review, the KYC, and the anti-money laundering, the AML. So I'm at 2 weeks now. So I'm at right now the fastest that I've ever heard of someone getting a response. Hang on. Do I want to take this trade? I kind of do. Maybe I give it a second. I'm liking that it pulled back into this cloud, and I'm hoping as long as it can hold 890, I should be good. I didn't want to chase it just because obviously there's an aspect of mean reversion in the short term. We overshot, but now that we're back in this cloud, do I want it? Like, do I really think we're going to get this test in this break? What's freaking me out, if I did it, it'd be only a one contract position. 5 minute bullish, 10 minute is about to close bullish, 30 minute is questionable, 5 close, 10 is trying to push, and we're right at that level. All right, I'm gonna put a buy order in.
Order submitted.
At 9.
Order canceled.
No, I'm just gonna do a buy order.
Submitted.
All right, I just took a long at 920. Risk is at 76 for right now. So once again, I took a long on NQ 920, risking 876 as of now. And if it pushes the intraday high, I'll move my risk up to maybe even break even at that point. We'll see. Took a long. Do you ever trade the Dow? No, I find it to be boring. I like the NASDAQ. I like the S&P 500. What time is it? 10:30. Are we at the IB yet? We're almost at the initial balance. Remember, the IB is the first hour of the day. So it's basically the literally hour 1, 9:30 to 10:30, the high and the low of that. So the IB would be 956.50 all the way down to 763. So we have about a 200 point IB today. On SPX, it would be whatever this high is, 79, all the way down. Hang on, let's just mark them out so you can see it. I'll make them blue. $879 down to 842. I'll make these blue just so you know it's IB. You know what? We'll make him this pink color just to not get him confused with anything else. I don't think I use that color. Make him this pink. All right, so the pink on this one is at least the IB high and low. I did take along why. It seems like this was the point here to fail at 825 and it didn't fail. It popped back up. So, okay, we're having this succession of higher lows. Like I said, I am getting a little bit freaked out by the fact that the 30-minute is not converting, but maybe it will. And if it won't, like I said, I already have my risk well defined. Are the clouds the 10, 20, 30, 50? Yeah, I think something like that. I just like to get the generic, like switching your EMA from the 20 to the 21 to the 22 is not going to be the difference in you being profitable or not. I use the EMAs to get the general idea. Are we trending down? Are we trending sideways? Are we stacked bullishly? Are we stacked bearishly? Switching from the 10 to the whatever, 11 to the 9, the 50 to the 48 to the 50, that's not going to change it. If it were that simple, we'd be living life on easy street. But unfortunately, it is not. AMD got a good pop. Bitcoin's getting... Silver's looking all right. Gold's looking all right, too. Honestly, these were probably the easier plays. Just so you know, I can't take advantage of it, but Apex right now is running their best deal, 90% off evals. You still do have to pay for the... if you pass the test, the upgrade, you're still going to have to pay for it. But once again, if you put those two together, this is currently the best deal. And if you want to do no activation fee, TPT is 40% off and no activation fee. So code Goonie works on both. I have Apex accounts. I'm just frozen right now waiting for my $1 million payout. I have TPT as well. I just have to do scratch trades until I can upgrade those. So the ones that I'm currently trading are FFN and Lucid. As you guys saw, not the best trades though thus far today, but hey, there's still a lot of time left in the day. Like I said, I am currently long on NQ and I'm long at 820 and I'm literally break even as we speak. So we'll see how it goes with this one. It's just, there's no real trend. It looks like we might have a higher low follow through. It also could just get spiked right here at the red to green. I'm looking at this white horizontal line. I'm also paying attention to the potential IB break, the first hour's high and low, which on SPX, that's a 6879. On NQ, let's go over to this. It is 24,956. So kind of watching these IB levels. Little fake out breakdown here this morning. That was a bit brutal. A wee bit brutal. I love how casual you say waiting for my $1 million payout. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, emotionally, I've had like large swings with it. Of course, on hitting that day, you get excited and then you request and then you go a day or two with no response and then your anxiety spikes. And then so much time passes that you like kind of start to forget about it. But like, it's one of those things where you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, you know? You don't want to count your chickens before they hatch. I mean, you just kind of waiting, I suppose. Like, it's just... it's not a foregone conclusion that I'm definitively going to get it. I strongly believe I will because I followed the trading rules. I had 5 approved payouts. The times I got denied early on, my very first payout request was denied. It was because I broke that MAE rule that was back in October. So I broke that. I knew it was going to get denied. From there, I had 5 approved payouts. So... it's just a time process. So it's definitely not only been a roller coaster trading with the accounts, but it's also been a roller coaster, like I suppose, ever since that, concluding it from the emotional side of just like waiting, but not waiting, but waiting, but not waiting. Well, it's always waiting, but I haven't gotten... I think the part that I'm a little bit surprised with it was I thought there would be like daily communication, I suppose. Someone asked me this yesterday and I hadn't really thought about it of like, am I happy with the process? I suppose I thought there would be more of like, hey, we're on this step of the review. Hey, we're on step 2 of the review. Hey, we're on step 3 of the review. And it would just blah, blah, blah. And then eventually X amount of steps later, they tell you what's up. But they don't. It's just like, I don't know if it's different from person to person. I don't know the exact details of like that type of a thing, but I can tell you that I reach out to my affiliate manager and he's like, yeah, they're reviewing it, and when they come to a decision they let you know, and if they have questions in the meantime, check your email. So I think it's the anxiety of the unknown that you're just kind of like, all right, what's going on? Are you having payout remorse? No. Well, I mean, what would be the other option? Still trading? Becoming numb to $1 million, good place to start. Once again, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not. That's a lot of money. Obviously, it's the most money I would ever have. It's not numb to $1 million. It's just like numb to this process. Once again, it's you don't count your chickens until they're hatched. I'll feel very different about the money when the money's in my bank account, but right now it's not in my bank account. So I think you're completely misunderstanding what I'm attempting to tell you. Did you have 20 Apex accounts? No, I had 15. I had 15. I was trading different groups of strategies and whatnot, and 5 of the 20 did not work. And then obviously 15 of them did. And then I started copy trading them all together. So, yeah. Are you retiring? I don't think you could retire on $1 million. I don't think you can retire on $1 million. How's the flow looking? Decent. SPY did pop, giving a little bit back right there. It's trying to go. Maybe it's trying to go there. Do I want to add another contract here? Do I want to add one? I kind of do. Yeah, you can, just not in the US. Well, I don't really feel like living internationally. I think America's still the best, so. And also, remember, you still have to pay, like, taxes and stuff on it. Like, Uncle Sam is going to make out pretty well in this deal.
Order submitted.
Uncle Sam's going to make out
order canceled
pretty well in this deal. Hang on, I'm just updating my risk. Updating my risk. We'll see how this plays. It's going down, man. Just stalling and getting heavier and heavier. People say that, and I always get confused. Like, what do you mean it gets heavier and heavier? Like, aren't we closer to the intraday high than we are the low? Like, I guess I'm curious. Big girl, what do you mean by that? Like, what are you seeing? Like, why is stalling inherently bearish? Couldn't you stall and then pop? Can it be a like? I've never ever seen any compelling data or evidence that stalling is bullish or bearish. It's just we go from periods of expansion to consolidation, not necessarily indicative of like the move that's going to follow. It's just expand, consolidate, expand, consolidate, expand, consolidate. So I don't get that. And then also, what do you mean by heavier? Like I hear people throw that term around. It's getting heavier. Like, are you looking at like Bookmap's liquidity? Are you saying that there's a lot of sell orders or above? Are you looking at a change in open interest? I'd love to know. Because I hear that a lot, that term. It's getting heavier. And I'm very, very curious what is the metric that's being measured that is saying it's heavier. That depends on what's stalling. If it's on the plane engine, inherently bad, especially followed by a pop. Yeah, I mean, on a plane, I would agree that stalling out on a plane is not good. Would you recommend any specific capital amount on Apex? The 50K and the 150K are the most popular. You have more leeway on the 150K. It's more expensive. You have less leeway, but it's cheaper on the 50K. The 50K technically has the best ratios, but if you're always trading NQ anyway or ES anyway, it might not matter that much. Do they tell you directly when you break a rule? They do when you get your payout denied. They're like, hey, you're getting this denied because you broke the MAE rule. Which, I mean, I knew it going into it. That was not surprising to me at all. I knew in early October that I just broke it. Like the unrealized, like there was some big pop that like kind of fucked me over. Oh, Jesus.
Order filled.
Well, that just got knocked out. Jesus. My wrist just got hit there. Wow, we're just not trending today. Oh, how long? I'm going to wait for this bar to close. And then I guess the risk. Yeah, because it might just pop there, but it's the 30-minute for an intraday trader. It tells you a lot, but look at wick. It's trying so hard and it just keeps failing, folks. Like, this is a big deal. Like, the fact that we can't go wick.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
I just went short on this, and I'll get out if it recaptures VWAP. We're choppy, and I understand. And we actually were just talking about this, of like, if it's choppy, why are you trading? Well, you don't know when the trend is going to start by stop market. All right, I'm putting in my risk at 920, or I'm going to lower that. I'm going to look at VWAP, but you never know when trends start. This breakdown could lead to the nice trend of the day, because we still haven't broken IB. We're at like 50% of IB roughly. We still haven't broken it. You have this generic downtrend. You have this generic uptrend. Like, it is not trending. What? Let's say you broke a rule and didn't notice it when you were at 200K and then you reach 1 million. They wouldn't pay you anything, or just the trade that you broke the rule? I mean, this is all, I would just recommend reading the FAQ, but if you break a rule, a soft breach, they deny your next payout, and then you have to trade good for a period. You have to trade clean for a period, and then from there you're good. And now they do have built-in systems that are a lot more informative of breaking the rules. So now if you they are working to get it sped up to the day of, and right now I think it's 1 day delayed for the soft rule breaches. So there's hard rule breaches where you lose your account, such as like hitting your trailing drawdown, but then there's soft rule breaches where they're going to deny your payout, or you need to trade for a little extra longer, but you don't want to actually lose your accounts. So something like the 30% consistency, the 30% MAE.
Connection lost.
Dude, I lost connect. I'm having weird ass data issues now today. But if you break one of the soft breach rules, such as the MAE, now the current system, it emails you 2 days later. Like I said, they're working to speed it up and give you the exact details on the soft breach rule. And then they email you the extra steps you have to go through to get a successful payout. The previous system, if you did it or didn't do it, you didn't find out until your request, and then they would review your account on the request and get approved or denied. So now they're just trying to speed it up faster for everyone. And you can check it yourself now if you go into the Apex dashboard under account details. That's a brand new section where they're giving people that type of information. Sorry, I missed. What happened with your 1 mil payout? Nothing yet. I'm just waiting. Nothing happened. But once again, yeah, if you want to try this out, I mean, FAQs are great there, but Apex, it is running a phenomenal deal right now, 90% off with code Goonie, and TPT is as well. I like both of these quite a bit. Apex is nice in the fact that it's a 1-day pass and you have quite a bit of leverage. You can get up to 20 accounts. What's nice about TPT is it does take a little longer to pass, but when you do it, you can get daily payouts and you can have up to 5 accounts there. So I don't think there's one of these firms that's the end all be all best. I think the best option for us as traders is to actually use a combination of them. Will Apex keep 20% of your 1 million? No, the rules are right here. You receive 100% of your first 25,000 per account and 90% beyond that. I mean, yeah, like I highly recommend if you have like questions about basic rules, come to the FAQ, just come to their homepage. It's there. If you're confused about like the MAE or something like that, I do have videos explaining all of those on the Matt Kohrs channel on YouTube. It's also up on Rumble. But if you come here, right here, Apex rules explained, how to pass Apex evals, take profit eval pass, Apex update, best Apex accounts. I answer a lot of the basic questions right in there with a lot of like obviously visual helpers and whatnot. No consistency on TPT. Yeah, that's nice. So the way it is Apex is easier to pass and harder to get a payout, and TPT is the opposite. It's harder to pass but easier to get a payout. So they're kind of like inverted on each other, which is why I use both to try to take advantages of both. What do you prefer, Tradeovate or Rhythmic? Definitely Tradeovate. Definitely Tradeovate. The other option is Wealth Charts. I've just never used it, so I can't comment on it. Does Matt have videos on taxes on Apex? No, it would be impossible. See how much of a shithole it's become? And it's sad because I actually love New York City. Great entertainment, great food, great bars, great sports. Like there's so like it's fun. It's a very, very fun city. Unfortunately, it's just dangerous, and the mayor's a piece of shit. Have you ever tried Legends Trades? No. There's a guy in Goonie Trading who does it and he likes it. Jesus. I'm wondering if I need to get the hell out of this. Look at just a giant lack of trend today. Wow. I'm astounded. All right, I'm going to close this out.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Huh? My data just dropped again. Well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise, to be completely honest, because my data keeps dropping. So, I mean, it's not making it impossible to trade, but it's definitely not making it fun to trade by any means. But maybe I just need to, like I said, maybe the market gods are telling me that this is just going to be a chop bullshit day. I'm just waiting for some nice trend to actually develop. But alas, not yet. I mean, Piper hasn't even fired. It's just a day of choppiness and nothingness. And hey, remember, not all trading days are built the same, so it might just be what it's going to be. Just so you know, Apex, if you are interested in it, 90% off, huge discount with code Goonie. TPT is phenomenal as well, 40% off and no activation fee with that code Goonie. And if you want to trade with me, GoonieTrading.com. Folks, don't overdo it today. We're not getting a nice trend as of now. So whatever you do, just, hey, keep your risk in control, keep your sizing in control, and stick to your trading plan. That's what I have for you right now. We might be streaming later on today. I want to dive into this whole Trump speak. He might have a speech on the economy at 4 p.m. If he does, I will be streaming later on today. And then we're streaming early tomorrow, 8:20 a.m. ET, because we have a lot of announcements, GDP, PC, big day. So Friday, payday Friday, first Friday in a new place. So potentially a stream tonight. Make sure your notifications are on 4 p.m. Eastern, and then definitely an early stream tomorrow. And in the meantime, Understand, not all trading days are going to be built the same. That's completely fine. Stick to your trading plan. That's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you in a little bit. Peace.